All right, let me pull. All right, good morning, Power team. This is Anthony Bonilla, a mentor with the company. We're going to go ahead and start the affirmations that we go over with Team Freedom right now. Let me just pull them up here, get those ready for you guys. I'm excited to run today's training. It's a fast start training. But before we start every training, we like to go over these right here. Let me share my screen with you again. All right, here we go. Can somebody unmute themselves? Let me know if they can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it.
Good. All right, awesome. So for those who are new, this is how we do it here. I'll pretty much just say the affirmation, right, one by one, and you'll repeat after each one, all right? So this is the part where you could feel free to unmute yourself, say it loud and clear, mean it, right? Make sure you feel the chills through your body when you say these. Right now, if you're at work, right, that's a little different. With your baby sleeping, that's a little bit different, right? So let's get fired up. Feel free to unmute yourself, and we'll say these one by one right now. So here at Team Freedom, we like to pretty much have our consultants say these every day if you can. So here's number one, you guys. I am a powerful solar professional.
I am a powerful solar professional.
I do business morally and ethically.
I do business morally.
Sound like you mean it. Don't sound like a robot. I am a successful, intelligent, and confident.
I am successful,
intelligent, and confident.
I do not depend on luck or unrealistic possibilities.
I do
not depend on luck or unrealistic abilities.
I am making a positive impact in the world and in the lives of others.
I am making a positive impact in the world and in the lives of others.
I radiate with confidence and people feel that.
I
radiate with confidence and people feel that.
I am building a renewable energy empire.
I am building a renewable energy empire.
Therefore, money comes easily and frequently and in increasing quantities.
Therefore, money comes easily and frequently and increasingly quantities.
Woo, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, guys. So feel free to mute yourselves. Jessica, can you just help me?
Let's go.
Or JC, and then make sure you guys are all on mute. We'll end.
Anthony, you're on mute.
Yeah, they unmuted. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Right. If I happen to go on mute, because it does happen quite a few times, just feel free to unmute yourself. Somebody let me know. All right. All right, guys. So I'm pretty much just going to do a fast start training. This is a great training for the newest consultants who just started with Powur, but also for us veterans who need a refresher. All right. There's many times where I go back to the fast start trainings that Jonathan Brunasso has made or JC Rangel has created, and it just gives me that fire again, right, to focus on the principles, on the basic steps to reach success here at Powur, right, in the solar industry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and be raffling one of these hats out. All right, so I'll be asking a question. It's on a slide that I don't have here on my PowerPoint today, and I did it purposely. So in order for you to win this hat, right, you have to be following me on social media. So make sure you're following me. If you're not yet, it's Anthony Bonilla _solar. That's on my Instagram there. And also don't forget to subscribe to my new YouTube channel, Anthony Bonilla, the Solar Mentor. All right, this is where I post a lot of content, videos for you guys could also use and share it with your new consultants or ambassadors, right? Or even clients too, because I have installations there as well. All right, so I'm just gonna go quickly on my story. I'm not gonna spend too much on it, but I'm gonna focus more on how I reached success here at Powur. I kept it very simple, right? I used the KISS method, what we learned in network marketing when I first partnered with JC back in 2014. What the KISS method is, it stands for, it's KISS, right? It's keep it super simple. So I kept it super simple since when I started here at Powur 2.5 years ago on May 2020. and I still do, right? I just keep it simple throughout pretty much getting solar clients and also building a team, right? So just a little bit about myself. I am 32 years old. I grew up in East Los Angeles, right? You guys can see my screen, right? I was like, yeah, grew up East Los Angeles, Commerce, California. I am a husband to my beautiful wife, Laura, and we do have a 3.5-year-old daughter, Catalea, and another daughter on her way next week, the day before Thanksgiving. So we're excited for that. I was a soccer coach for 15 years, and I recently retired this past May. I've been in the network marketing industry for the past 10 years. That's where I met JC Rangel. And now I'm a full-time solar consultant here at Powur, right? So just to share a little bit of when I first started with Powur 2.5 years ago, it was during the pandemic, right? It was during the shutdown where I lost my job and I needed an opportunity. Luckily, I've known JC for a long time, and he connected me with his mentor, Jonathan Brunasso, right? So thankfully, I was partnered with these two gentlemen here. And I always say, whatever JC Rangel does, touches, whatever he touches turns into gold, right? So I knew he was getting involved in the solar industry, right? And then he created a Facebook video saying he was partnering with Powur. And I reached out to JC Rangel and said, I'm in, I'm interested. Just teach me the ropes, how to get started. And what they basically did was they showed an opportunity to me. Now, this is a picture I took with my drone in Eastville, California. I saw the vision of helping families go solar here on local markets, Southern California, Northern California, Central, right? But what Jonathan Brunasso and JC Rangel did is they shared the vision of going nationwide, right? They shared the vision of not just building in the California market, not just helping homeowners here in my hometown and next door, right? But going in 22 different states and hopefully soon internationally, all right? When I saw this map, you guys, I saw a bigger opportunity. And the way I started thinking was, how can I reach? I think somebody's unmuted. So I saw, how can I reach the masses? And how I built my business was just through social media, posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook, just pictures, videos, right? And I kept it simple, right? Now, here's a picture of me in Hawaii, right? And my family. So what Powur has done for me, right, is given me the opportunity to sell virtually, right? Giving me the opportunity to be able to work from home wherever there's Wi-Fi on my laptop and there's a client. Being able to help and mentor other consultants to do the same, right? Now you're probably asking, how did I do it, right? Because that's why you guys are here today. So the first thing I did was I found my why. What's my reason for doing the business? I wanted to create a lifestyle where I could always spend time with my family, right? As many of you do, right? So once you find that why, right, and it has to be strong enough because there's going to be moments, right, days, months where it gets hard for you in the business. There's going to be times where you might feel like quitting, throwing the towel because a client quit because somebody told you no, right? Now, there's way too many times, JC knows this, a lot of you guys know this, there's way too many times new consultants come into this industry, into this business with Powur platform, and they talk big game. Oh, Anthony, JC, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I have experience in this, many years of selling this and that, right? And then they come, they try it out, they give up after their first client says no, and they disappear. Right. I always told JC, you know what, I'm not going to talk big game. You know, I'm going to show you what I'm about. You know, just put me to work, give me the tools, and I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry to get started. So you got to have that big why to keep you pushing forward, not just for the next month, right? Not just for the next year, but throughout your entire business, right? Now, there is different ways of getting leads. I focused more on social media. I focused more posting on Instagram and Facebook. Now, there's warm market leads, which are great, right? Big difference from having to close a warm market lead versus a cold market lead if you're door knocking, right? I'm not saying door knocking is bad. It's great. A lot of top consultants here in our team, in our company, do great at door knocking, right? So with the war market, I pretty much just targeted friends, family, and everybody in my network, whether if I knew them personally or not, right? If they were on my Instagram or on my Facebook, they were going to get approached. I was going to let them know I'm doing solar. All right. Another way of getting leads, again, door knocking. If you're looking for a great door knocker, a great mentor to teach you, JC Rangel has trainings at the Downey, California office with David Perez. Another way that some consultants on my team get leads is cold calling, right? There's the ambassador program where it's referrals. That's where I focus the most on social media, right? So I always say invest into your business, get a drone. The moment I got a drone, started posting pictures, right, from up above, showing the roof, I started getting more clientele that way. And team building. I'll talk a little bit towards the end about team building, all right? And I'm not going to touch on it right now, but if you are planning to team build, right, that's where you could get a lot more leads, right? If you're not planning to team build, if you had that mentality I had when I first started at Powur, I had a scarcity mindset, right, versus an abundance mindset. I didn't want to team build because I wanted to just focus on selling solar. And I told JC Rangel and Jonathan Bernasso, I just want to sell solar. So for 6 months, that's all I did. I didn't share the opportunity with anyone. I didn't try to help others. You guys, I started 2.5 years ago during the pandemic, right, with the COVID shutdown. That was selfish of me. I had a scarcity mindset of not wanting to help others with this opportunity. So we'll talk a little bit about team building and my method of what I do later on towards that. Now, how I got my personal war market leads, I really just shared the ambassador program, right? I approached friends, family, everybody on my network, and I just asked them if they knew anybody that might be interested in cutting their electric bill in half or lowering their electricity bill, right? And if so, our company would give them $1,000 per referral that went solar. That's all I did, you guys. I just shared the ambassador program with everyone and anyone, and I still do that till this day, right? You'll be surprised. A lot of people know somebody that's interested in solar, right? Oh, I heard my mom is interested. My sister just bought a house. My neighbor just moved in. Those are clientele referrals that they could connect you with. So share the ambassador program with everyone you know. It's free, right? Now, who did I approach with my ambassador program so I was a soccer coach for 15 years. So my soccer community, I just reached out to them, and my first 2 years in Powur, I was still coaching. So they were asking, how's life? Oh, it's great. You know, I'm doing solar on the side from coaching. It's been great. Oh, really? Tell me more, right? Now, again, I tell you guys, I post pictures and videos on Instagram and Facebook. It's free, you guys. I don't do ads. I need to learn how to do that. But I try to post daily, if not every other day. When I first started with Powur, I had a lot more time to make posts, to get creative on my videos, right? So I was posting a lot. Now it's a little bit different with the mentoring. I'm way too busy, but I still try to post, right? And what I like to do is attract people, potential clients, potential new business partners to reach out to me and ask me, hey, Anthony, how does this solar thing work? Hey, Anthony, how can I be part of the solar boom, solar industry, right? So you want to do attraction marketing versus being the hunter, right? So now, when do I post? I try to put my posts on both Facebook, Instagram before 9 a.m. during the week, because that's the time people are getting ready to go to work. I try to post at noon, that's lunchtime, right? And I try to post after 5 p.m. when people are off of work, right, getting home. Because you gotta admit, that's when people are on social media most of the time. All right, so another thing I did in the beginning was I joined a BNI network group. Yeah, it stands for Business Network International. Join your local chapter, right? There's many chapters that need that solar professional, that solar consultant, right? Where they're gonna refer business, you refer leads, all right? So in these networking groups, there could only be one solar consultant, one realtor, one painter, one roofer, one landscaper. You get the idea. So just imagine a group of 10, 20, some chapters have 30, 40 people, right? They already have a book of business. If you become their trusted solar consultant, right, guess who they're going to refer those clients to you, right? So join your local BNI group. or your team referral network. They're pretty much two different companies with the same idea, right? But that's what I did in the beginning. But another thing I did that made it very different for me, right? A lot of consultants start and they don't go all in, right? Now, the way I went all in was, unfortunately, I lost my coaching job during COVID. So I had no option. I had to go all in order to be able to feed my family, to be able to have some income. So I did a 90-day challenge. I started in May of 2020. So for May, June, July, I went all in. And what did I do in those 90 days? I pretty much just set goals, right? How many people am I going to reach out to? Now, in order to know how many people you're going to reach out to, you have to make a list. In our trainings, we do say make a list of 100 people. Now, I've known this training for many years through network marketing, right? So I made a list of 500 plus people, and I'm always adding to that list. Now, nobody told me to do this. I already knew. I've known JC for many years, so I already knew what was expected for me to pretty much grow my business. So in this list, I just added everyone. Obviously, I started with family, close friends, right? And then just everyone I could think of, and I just put them on and you have to physically write it in a notebook. Don't just say, oh, I have my Instagram or my Facebook on my phone, they're all here. No, you have to physically write it. And now you're going to scratch them off every time you contact somebody. I recommend when you have your list, do 3 separate categories. The first category, name it potential solar clients. The second category, ambassadors. The third category, pretty much solar partners, solar consultants, business partners, right? In the first category, when you're reaching out, the way I did it, you could either call your people or you could text them, right? Preferably call. Let them know you're excited. Let them know you're in the solar industry and you're going to be doing this for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? And all I did was, again, share the ambassador program. You'll be surprised. There's going to be some people, and this happened to me, where they're going to tell you, hey, Anthony, well, I just bought a house. Can I refer myself? Had a client out in Arlington, Texas. She bought a home and she said, I'm looking for solar. What do you need from me? So I collected a utility bill and assigned a mentor 2.5 years ago. So what did I do from that list of 500 plus people? Now you guys might have 100, right? Just start somewhere. Take that name and put it under potential solar client. Now, the majority of people, from my experience, are going to tell you, hey, Barry, hey, Joel, right? Hey, Lily. Now, I don't have a house. I just have an apartment, right? I don't own a home, but I know somebody, my mom, right? She has an electricity bill, or my cousin just bought a house. Can I connect you with them? Yeah, that's a potential ambassador, right? So there's always a way to approach people. Even if they don't have a home, they could earn $1,000 if they refer somebody, right? Now, if I know that someone on my list has a big book of business, maybe they're a realtor, a mortgage lender, or maybe they're a barber, maybe they're a soccer coach like me. I ask them, well, obviously I share my excitement, I share the ambassador program, but I ask them, hey, by the way, would you be interested in earning 50% of the commission instead of $1,000 for doing the same thing, just referring someone to me? And the reason I do that is because, hey, yeah, I'm going to lose 50%, but what I'm trying to do is tap into their network, right? So again, that list that you make, 3 different categories: potential solar consultant, ambassadors, and business partners, right? So that's why I say physically write it down and just categorize them all, right? Now, a lot of people will tell you, yeah, I'll keep you in mind. And you'll be surprised too. I had quite a few ambassadors that they said, yeah, I'll keep you in mind. If somebody comes up, I'll let you know. 2 years later, they send me a referral, right? So don't forget about these ambassadors that you talk to about solar, right? So when I get started, you guys know that, for new consultants, you have to do your first 3 projects with a mentor, right? They have to be closed, right? And then you can start selling on your own. And then you have to sell 5 projects on your own to then take the mentor exam and you become a mentor. Now, for me, it was a little bit different, right? I had more than 30 projects assigned to mentors. 15 of them closed, right? So just looking at my board here, I had great mentors. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different mentors. And the reason I chose different mentors was because I learned from some of the best, like JC Rangel, Jonathan Bernasso, Cynthia Ovidres, Paul Leon, Lorenzo Jaimes, Edgardo Gonzalez. Like I was fortunate enough to learn from these top mentors. All right. Wally Arita is another one. All right. So by learning from these mentors, I saw it as an investment. Right. Yeah, I didn't see it as I was gonna lose 50% of the commission. I saw it as I'm gonna earn this much to learn from these top solar mentors here at Powur and some of the best in the industry. This is an investment that I'm making. So that's how I was able to learn project management from one of the mentors, right? I learned people skills, right? Updating clients, customer service, closing one call sales, follow-up close, right? I've learned so much from these mentors. So if you're the type of person that's thinking, well, I don't want to do one with the mentor, why do I have to lose 50%? You have the wrong mentality. Again, you have to have an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset, right? Think long-term, right? So within my 6 first months here at Powur, yeah, I did become a mentor after 15 with the mentor and then 5 on my own. Another reason why I had to assign mentors to all my projects because I didn't have my HIS license 2.5 years ago. So here's another, let me see, all right. So what I started doing was I started asking my mentors questions. How could I give you a better lead, right? How can I set us up for success, right? Because at first I was just thinking of getting all different types of potential clients, but some didn't even qualify. So how can we eliminate those who didn't qualify? As I started doing discovery calls or a text, right? It says email, but I focus more on discovery calls or text. If you are new, all right, just a few weeks, a few months new, I recommend you do a discovery text versus a call. Why is that? Because homeowners are going to start asking, some of them, majority actually, are going to start asking you, well, how big are the panels? How much do they weigh? What type of panels do you use? What type of inverters? What happens if the roof collapses? Or what type of warranty do you have? The last thing you want to do is be, let me get back to you because I'm new. So I started doing a discovery text from the beginning, right? And I pretty much just collect the client's first and last name, their phone number, their email address, their home address, the roof age, how old is the roof type, what type of roof do they have, right? Do they live in an HOA, homeowners association? Do they have a pool or jacuzzi or an electric vehicle? If not, do they plan to get one in the near future, right? In the next 1, 2, 3 years, right? And then I end it with this. Please send me a picture of your main electrical box, known as the main service panel, right? And I always tell my client, take a picture of the inside, please. I've had some clients send a picture of the main electrical box, the main service panel with the lid closed. So tell them you want it with the lid open so you can see the breakers, the switches, right? And then ask for a copy of their most recent utility bill. If they ask you, why do you need my utility bill? Like our leader, Charles Thompson says, what's the worst thing that could happen? I'm going to pay it for you, right? You need that utility bill, right? To see how much electricity, right? How much energy, how many kilowatt hours, it's all the same, the homeowner's consuming throughout the last 12 months, all right? So this is what I do for a discovery call. For new consultants, start with the text. All right, so now that you have the utility bill, right? Set the appointment with a Powur mentor, a tier 3 mentor, right? Work together with the mentor who you want to learn from, all right? And check their, I remember when I first started, I wanted to learn from so many mentors. You guys, we got to be respectful of the time. They're busy, right? They're busy not just with business, but their own life and family too. So if you want to learn from a specific mentor, the way to learn from that mentor is recommended to get a lead, assign that mentor, right? And check with them first to see if they're available and work with that mentor, because what happens is you build that relationship, right? You build that relationship, not just for that one project, but for a lifetime. And there's times where I still go back to my mentors and I'm asking questions. Hey, just had this incident of, obviously I'm always coachable. I'm always learning. 2.5 years into Powur, almost more than 3 years into the industry, I'm still asking questions. You always want to be learning. So build that relationship with that mentor you want to learn from. Check their availability and again, assign them. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit, right? I have some slides for that as well. Now, you got to check if that mentor does in-person appointments or if they do Zoom call appointments, right? There's some mentors who are just way too busy, right? Like JC Rangel and Jonathan Brunasso says, it's a great problem to have. They're way too busy where they're having calls every hour of the day, right? So you got to check to see, can this mentor do an in-person or not? Does this mentor speak English? Can they do Spanish? Can they do Tagalog, Mandarin, French, whatever it is, right? Check with that mentor. So you want to connect that mentor, right, with your client, right? So I always say connect, edify the mentor, now watch and learn and earn, right? So I just wrote here some numbers I got from one of our trainings, right? Road to mentor, right, for the newest consultants, right? Once you close 3 with the mentor and then 5 on your own, the first 3, let's say on average, the commission is $7,000, right? And you divide it, you split it 50-50, you're going to make $3,500 for each project on average, right? It all depends how big or small the system is. So times that by 3 projects, you just earn $10,500 average, right? So when you sell 5 on your own, if your average commission is $7,000, you're going to earn $35,000 on average. So that's a total of $45,500 on average, right? That you'll earn working your way up to mentor. Now, let me tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy to do, but it's also not that complicated. As long as you stick to the course, you stick to your goals, and you continue the path, even when, excuse my language, when shit hits the fan, when things get tough, this is where your why comes in, right? When you get lazy like I did, after I became a mentor and build, right, some momentum, right, I got lazy, I got comfortable, right? JC Rangel always says this, momentum is the hardest thing to get, but the easiest thing to lose, right? So, I gotta tell you guys, keep pushing forward, right? The real magic, like Charles Thompson and Jonathan Brunasso taught, the real magic really happens once you become a mentor. So always hashtag road to mentor, have that vision to get there. All right, so let me share, because a lot of new consultants here, they don't take the time to take the training, right? Powur has a lot of great training that they didn't have 2.5 years ago. It's a lot easier for us now. We're spoiled now. 2.5 years ago, we didn't have it. So if you can master these 10 steps, right, you're going to reach a lot of success here. Right, and just do it multiple times. And then when it's time to team build, teach the newest consultants how to master these 10 steps. So pretty much get good at collecting the utility bill. And then you just insert the lead in your platform, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Create that lead into a project, add the utility bill, right? So you upload the pages, right? And the main service panel, the picture of it. The next step is contact the mentor and assign the mentor. After that, they request a proposal and you guys edit it together, right? Set the appointment with the client and mentor. After they present the proposal, right? When it makes sense for the client to transition to go solar, if they qualify, it's an IQ test, you guys, like JC Rangel says, it's a no-brainer, right? Qualify them and get the client approved. After that, send the loan documents and the solar documents with the net metering agreement from the utility company. All right, and then from there, the project management installation process begins. So get good at mastering these 10 steps and teach them to your team. All right. So now, if you guys are ready, type on the chat, I'm ready. All right. If you guys are getting some value out of this training, type it in. Again, I'll answer questions towards the end. So here's the first step. All right. Once you pique a client's interest, a potential client, you collect that utility bill and that picture of the main service panel, right? You want to go to your platform. And here on the tab on the left, your pipeline is going to look like this in the beginning. It's going to be empty. You're new. You want to build that pipeline, all right? I remember when it looked like this for me. Now it's hard for it to look like this, which is a good problem to have. You want to get there, right? So once you go here to the left on the tab that says projects, you want to click here where it says leads on the top, all right? And then you're going to want to click add lead on this blue button. You're going to enter that lead's information, name, email, phone number, home address, right? And then it's going to ask you to upload the utility bill, right? Remember the discovery call, the discovery text I always do. This is where I plug in that information. From there, your client's, that lead is not a project yet. So I deleted my client's information, so you guys won't take this one from me yet. Well, this one's sold already, but so this client, Jose, so it's going to show your client's information under the leads tab. So what you want to do is create it into a project. How you do that is you click on that client's name, and you're pretty much just going to confirm that information is correct and click on qualify lead on the top right. All right. From there, now it becomes a project. Now it's on the projects here. And then here's what your pipeline will start looking like. All right. Now, where do you upload extra pages? Let's say you have a client. Has it happened to anyone where a client is not tech savvy, or even if they are, they just don't want to send you the entire utility bill of 6-7 pages? Yeah, has it happened to anybody? Yeah, right. Now, if it does happen, what you want to do is, let's say they just take pictures and you get 7 different pictures from them, right? You could only upload one file here under site info, right? You're going to want to upload the utility bill that has the bar graph, right? The usage. What do you do with all the extra pages is you're going to want to go to assets right here, this assets section, and you could upload any extra pictures there. Picture, for example, let's say the other pages of the Edison utility bill, right? Or let's say a picture of the main service panel. But this is where I pretty much upload the PDF files of my proposals, the contract that they signed, the final design. This is where I do it here on the asset section, right? All right, so we haven't assigned a mentor yet, all right? You just pretty much created the lead, you uploaded the utility bill and the picture of the main service panel, right? Here you want to confirm that this is the home of your client. And then you're going to scroll down, all right? Let's go back here. You're going to scroll down, right? We're on the summary section, and it's going to give you the option, right, to assign a mentor, right? So you just click on the search button and assign that mentor. Now for mentors, for anybody who's a mentor, tier 3 mentor, and you didn't know this, you could pretty much turn off your mentor status. If you're on vacation, if you're on time out, you pretty much need a break, right? There's some of us who are in Hawaii or Ohio and on vacation, and we're still accepting leads, right? But for example, with me for this next 2-3 weeks, I turn off my mentor status. Nobody could assign me. Why? Because my daughter's going to be born next week, right? So for those tier 3 mentors, if you're getting constant leads, right, pretty sure you're not going to want to turn off your mentor status, but just a little tip, you could pretty much give yourself a break, right? So now once you assign the mentor, contact that mentor, send them a text message, an email. That's preferable instead of a phone call, right? Because they might be in a Zoom consultation or an in-person appointment, right? So just send them a text or an email, let them know you submitted the lead and you already assigned them, right? And then they're going to request that proposal. For tier 1 mentees, you cannot request a proposal until you become a tier 2 consultant, right? For tier 2 consultants and tier 3 mentors, obviously you're the ones who can request that proposal here. And then once you have that proposal, you're going to edit that proposal together. So during my training process as a mentor, what I do is I pretty much edit the proposal, set a Zoom call with my tier 1 mentees, and I show them how to select the panels, the inverters, where to put the panels on the home, how to select financing, cash, or the lease option, right? So I go over the entire proposal, how to select adders, All right, so I make it more of an educational process for my tier 1 mentees. All right. And then so here's another picture of the design. And then from there, once the client is ready to proceed and you get them qualified, unless you're doing a cash deal. I've been getting a lot of questions on cash deals. So for a cash deal, it's a $1,000 down payment. 75% of the rest is paid after installation. 25% of the remaining amount, right, gets paid after PTO, which is permission to operate. So after the solar system is installed, the city does an inspection. Once it passes, then we submit for permission to operate, PTO, with the utility company. All right, so that's when.
Can you say that one more time, please?
Yes, so for a cash deal, it's a $1,000 down payment, and they'll receive invoices from Powur. Right? 75% of the rest of the amount is paid after installation is completed. 25% of the remaining amount is paid after PTO, permission to operate. And then on the solar contract, it's going to show you there the exact amount of how much money is going to be paid. And again, your clients will get invoices for this. Okay. Again, this is for a cash deal.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jeanette. All right, so it's showtime, right? So time to manage your project through the process from start to finish, so from signing docs all the way through PTO, right? So unfortunately, I also thought of this in the beginning. Unfortunately, we tend to think, okay, once I got the client and they signed the document, it's a done deal, it's a sold project, right? I'm done, all right, I'm gonna get paid. But what happens if you're terrible or you just don't know how to communicate on the project management side? You don't know how to tell your clients about updates. You'll hear a lot of mentors, consultants say it's the project manager's job. I have a different mentality, and it's just me. It's my client, it's my project. I need to manage it from beginning to end. I need to get what we call glass on the roof, the solar panels installed. And even then, once the system is installed, you're not done. Yeah, you're gonna get paid your milestone 2 commission, but you're not done yet. You still need a pass inspection with the city. And then after that, you still need to get permission to operate. That could take some weeks after installation. All right, so this is your client, this is your project, you take care of it. I take care of sold projects more than I take care of new projects that I'm about to sell, right? Luckily for me, out of all the projects I've sold right here at Powur, right, whether it's with the mentor when I first started, or me being the mentor, or tier, or just the consultant on my personal projects, I've only had one client cancel, and that was this year. This client went solar with me in April, but unfortunately he passed away. Now that's something that's out of my control, right? That's out of our control. All right, so managing the project is very important, right? So Powur gives us many tools on how to make this managing process very, very professional, right? But stay on top of your project. So the steps are pretty much showing your client the savings report, which is a proposal. You guys see this on your proposal. If you haven't seen a proposal, if you're new, right, or anybody watching the recording right later on, these are the steps. You could find this at the bottom of all your proposals. The second step, right, is getting your client approved unless it's a cash deal. The third step is having your client sign the documents, the solar documents, the loan documents of their financing, and the net metering documents. The fourth step is scheduling the site survey. The site survey usually happens between 1 to 2 weeks. These are the expectations I pretty much set for my clients. So you guys could write these down. And I'm telling you from my experience, right? This is what I tell my clients. The next step is we're going to schedule your site survey. All right. So what's going to happen is, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, once you sign those documents, let me know, please, so I could tell our Powur team, right, who's going to process the documents to have on file. You're going to receive a welcome call, right? And obviously this is if I'm using Mosaic, right? And it's going to be a welcome call just to make sure we went over the same thing we talked about here. Now, the site survey, you're going to receive a phone call or an email, right, within the next week. I always say 1 to 3 business days to schedule it within the next week or 2. Majority of my site surveys, you guys, have happened with that same week from when they signed the documents. All right, now if it's a Thursday or Friday or Saturday, obviously it's going to happen sometime next week. But I always say it's going to happen within the next week or two. Why do I add two? It's just a buffer, just in case. All right, one of our installation partners is backed up, especially now during Q4. This is where we get the busiest, right? So after site survey, I explain to them, and this is all through text, right? I create a group text with myself as the mentor, my tier 1 mentee, right? And the client. And I pretty much just keep them updated there. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, all right, we completed your site survey. Just want to let you know, it takes about another week to get the final design. Once we have the final design, my project manager will share that with you, right? And then from there, once they share that with them, then they give approval. I tell them, once you give approval, now we proceed into the permitting stage with the city. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, this next step is the longest process of it all. It usually takes roughly about sometimes 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes faster, sometimes a little longer, depending on each city. Right? Every city works differently, and some could do it faster, or some take longer, some are backed up, right? And I'm just giving them updates. There's been times, and I have 3 projects live right now in the city of Corona, right? It's already the 9th, and for another one, it's the 11th week into the permitting stage, right? Us as consultants, JC Rangel says it best. We get paid the most money to solve these problems. Us as consultants, we need to learn how to manage that, learn how to overcome that little obstacle, right? To push it to the finish line. It's how you handle it, how you communicate with your client. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I apologize, unfortunately it's out of our control. It's, we're just waiting for the city, right? I know we're on the 11th week, right? But we're gonna we're closer to the finish line. As soon as we get the permits approved, now we're gonna go ahead and schedule your installation. All right, so just remind that client, we're there, we're getting closer. All right, so after the permitting stage, sometimes there's corrections. All right, don't get upset like, oh, they did it wrong, corrections are taking long. No, it's part of the process, right? It's part of the solar installation process. Sometimes there is correction, so learn how to manage that too with your client, right? And then once we have the permits approved, now we install. I always tell my clients, if it's a small system, let's say under 30 panels, right? It's going to be possibly a one-day installation. Sometimes 40 or more, 30 or more, depending on the type of roof and all that. It could be 2 days, right? Sometimes 3 if you're dealing with the main panel upgrade, an MPU or a ground mount, right? So set that expectation for your clients, right? After installation, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, all right, we have installed your system. You're still not activated, right? You're just not running on solar energy. You have to remind them, some clients, right, think after the solar system is installed, all right, that's it. That's it. Goodbye, Edison. Goodbye, PG&E. Goodbye, utility bill. I'm going to crank that AC now during the hottest month in July, August, September. You have to remind your clients it's not activated yet. Now that we completed your installation, now we have to get the city inspector to come out, right, and pass inspection. After that could take roughly between, let's say, 1 2 weeks on average to schedule, and it's the city inspector scheduling, right? And then from there, I always tell them, all right, we passed inspection. Now we're going to take roughly about 2 to 4 weeks we're submitting for permission to operate with the utility company. So now next 2 to 4 weeks on average, we should be getting permission from Edison or your utility company to activate the system. Why do I set these expectations? Is because now everybody wants everything so quick, fast now, right? You got to let them know it takes time, all right? It takes time, and this is what the process is. Sound like that professional, right? And then from there, once you have PTO, what I do is I check with my clients the next month to see their utility bill, maybe 3 months later, 6 months later. And as we get closer to the 1 year mark, right? So that's what I do with my clients. That's how I manage, whether it's my personal client or if I'm mentoring a mentee, I stay in touch with their clients, and I always enroll them as an ambassador for that mentee, right? Or my personal clients for me, right? Why? Because now they're going to give you referrals, right? We're almost done with this training. So this is just the site survey section on your platform. The milestones, you could track the timeline of each project step by step here on the milestone section. Your project manager will be putting the updates here. Tickets, this is pretty much where you could communicate with your project manager. Tier 1 mentees, Tier 2 consultants, Tier 3 mentors. This is where we communicate with all our project managers. They don't want you to be sending them emails or text messages, and I don't do that anymore. Why? Because here everything is tracked. If they said let's say, for example, something that happened to me, pretty much the roof was going to be a certain amount, all right? And then all of a sudden it's a different amount. Now, I go back, or I extra charges. This is what we
No.
sold it at. This is the extra amount, right? I need to add this to the proposal and tell the client, right? This is the new
Yeah,
amount,
you're
whatever
not
it is. This
financing
is
the
where you
equipment.
communicate
Exactly. Yeah. So,
with your project managers, right?
yeah.
And someone's on
Jorge, you're off mute.
unmuted. Thank you. Thank you. So here, for a lot of you consultants, you don't know about this section here, the checklist. There's a lot of great videos that Powur has. So Powur has the knowledge base and the university platform here on the bottom left, right? And it's pretty much like our Google for Powur, right? Any questions you might have, go there and check first. But here on the checklist, there's also videos on setting up your e-wallet, right? Updating your profile, other profile features, Powur resources. Go ahead and take some time out of your day to check these, right? Now, don't spend too much time trying to learn it all, right? Don't try to learn about inverters and panels and no. Get good at piquing your potential client's interest, collecting the utility bill, uploading it, right, to the platform, assigning a mentor, and that's where you really learn, right? It's all hands-on once you start seeing the mentor get to work. But on your free time, right, I used to watch, I still do, I watch videos early morning or late night, right, where clients are sleeping, right? So I take time to watch some videos, educating myself, right, sharpening my tools, right? So I want to share this for Tier 1 mentees and Tier 3 mentors. When you guys assign a mentor or a mentor, you're working with the mentee, it's pretty much a partnership. You guys are a team, right? It can't be the Tier 1 mentee, the new consultant, and the client versus the mentor versus the project manager. No. It's a partnership, and you guys got to work together on that project and take care of that client. So I wrote these little notes down here. Help each other out by communicating, right? Always set expectations with your clients. Be patient and understanding when something goes wrong. Very important. How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to manage it without freaking getting pissed off, right? Find solutions instead of complaining. I really dislike when and this is not just in solar, just in general in life, right? When people come to me with a problem and all they do is complain about the same problem and they do nothing to fix it. All right, let's find the solution. What could we do to fix it, right? The client actually needs a new roof. All right, let's find a solution. They're going to get a new roof with the solar system, right, together. So just always look for that solution together, right? Be respectful to the mentee and the mentor and project managers, right? So all in general, just be respectful with each other. There might be challenges with your projects. It's a home improvement construction project. You're dealing with the city inspectors and utility companies, right? It's bound to happen where something might go wrong with the project. Installers maybe show up at 11 a.m. when they said they're going to show up between 7 and 10, right? Maybe they got stuck in traffic, or maybe they got food poisoning during their lunch and they rushed that one installer to the hospital. It happens, right? Again, it's out of your control, right? The team building. And then I know, JC, we're on top of the hour, but if you could give me just 5 minutes and then I'll jump into questions right away and then I'll raffle this hat out right now. So team building, this was the picture I took when I first met Charles Thompson for the first time in person. This was at his home. We had a team building event. Jonathan Brunasso, JC Rangon invited me out in his home in San Diego. And that's where I saw the bigger vision of, all right, we need a team build. We need to help more families, more people with this opportunity, right? Talk about first impressions, right? When I first met Charles Thompson, I freaking drove my car over that little cliff he had. So I spent half of the training that day trying to get my car out. But my team building method, right? I keep it super simple, right? It's the KISS method. This is what I do. I make a connection with people, social media, in person, whatever it is. I send them to Powur videos. I always send the Jim Bunch video, why Powur? And then I send either the JC Rangel video of the business, right? Or the Jonathan Brunasso video. Now you got to pick and choose who you're going to send what video to who, right? JC Rangel is more aggressive on the shark, the red type of person, right? Money motivated. Jonathan Brunasso might be more of the mellow, the yellow, trying to help the environment type person. So pick and choose your video, watch them first before you send anything to anyone, right? And then have them get started. If they don't get started with you, they don't partner with you yet, set up a Zoom call with your leadership, someone who onboarded you or onboarded them, so they could help answer any questions, or an in-person meeting, or a coffee in the morning, or a lunch, or whatever it is. Edify your leadership, and then have them get started. If they still don't get started, invite them to an in-person event, maybe a local training that you have in your market, right? Here in Downey, California, with JC Rangel and Team Freedom, right? We have a lot of trainings, right? I always invite new potential consultants, right? Or consultants within my team who are new, right? To my solar installations, take pictures that show them what it's like, what the process is like for a solar installation, and then have them get started. If they don't get started, then it's just the wrong timing. They're not interested right now. Don't give up on them, put them on a follow-up list. But once they do get started, connect them to the team, to the resources, to the trainings, right? It's just like a solar project. Once a new consultant gets started on your team, it's like putting panels on, it's like qualifying a client, right? Your job's not done there. Now you got to push that project through installation, through PTO. Now you got to help that new consultant through the trainings to have success, get their first lead, get utility bill lead, and then get their first close, their first client, right? Have them get that feel of helping a client go solar, helping them get paid their first M1 commission, their M2 commission, and then team overrides later on, right? Just help them make money quick, guide them, and duplicate, right? So if you do this multiple times, one conversation at a time, for a long period of time, you guys, I've been doing this for 2.5 years with Powur, right? So my success didn't happen overnight. You got to plant seeds of abundance. You got to plant seeds in people's mind, let them know you're in the solar industry. You're in a great company, right? With a great team, right? Once you do this often enough and you become good at it, you start building a team. You start mentoring new consultants, right? You start expanding into Puerto Rico, right? Social media. You start building in Hawaii, right? Because we're going to open up there apparently in Q1 next year, right? You start helping new consultants reach success, helping them reach their goals, and helping more families. And I'll end with this, right? After this, I'll go ahead and raffle this hat here. And I appreciate everybody who's been on this call, right? And those who are going to watch the recording. Remember your why, right? This is what's going to push you through. Put your head down and get to work. Set big goals and always aim high. Create a plan. It's your roadmap to success. Decide, are you going to do this part-time, full-time, or maybe on your own time, but decide, right? Stay focused and consistent. Stay plugged in on the trainings. This is very key. Stay within the fire. Stay, there's gonna be times where you want to slow down. Right now, we're in the holiday season. People are saying, new year, new me, I'll start in January 1st. No, these are the next 2 months, month and a half left to drive momentum into next year, right? Vision where you're gonna be in the next 1, 5, 10 years from now, right? Set goals, right? And like Charles Thompson always says, the best is ahead, my friend. So that's part of my training there. I hope you guys enjoyed it and saw value. But now what I'm going to do is feel free to mute yourself. I'll stop share here. And I'm going to raffle this hat right now. If someone could type on the chat. I know there's questions here. I wasn't checking the questions, but if someone could type in on the chat, You have to spell it out word for word. What is the method I use throughout my entire journey at Power? Word for word.
Yeah.
I said it multiple times and I'll send you this hat. I'll ship it to you if you're not local. What is the method I used throughout my entire journey at Power? Not the team building method.
Keep it super simple.
Keep it super simple. Victor Lewis, you spelled it out word for word. My friend, I'm gonna go ahead and send this to you all the way to North Carolina, right?
Actually working on that one.
South Carolina.
I'm not sure
South
if I
Carolina.
sent
Oh,
that out
close.
yet or
I'll
not, but I know.
ship this over to you, my friend. I'll reach out to you so I can
It's
send it over.
tomorrow.
But
It's hard to keep up
I'm gonna
with.
go ahead and just JC. We have a few minutes? I don't know. I know you have your training. We could stop the recording,
Yeah.
Jessica or JC. I don't know if you want to leave me here on the call for a bit while you guys do your in-person 11 a.m. Let's
Still recording.
see if I could do it. Here, I don't want to.